Welcome to the Pedal Collaborative podcast. We're so glad you're here.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Happy 2025. It is Paul and Alan. We are back with the podcast. How's it going?
Hey everybody. Yeah, man, I can't believe it's 2025. And honestly, like in a few days from recording, it will be February of 2025. And I still think it's 2024.
Yeah, I've done quite a few things where I say, because I'll say like in the year 2024, it's crazy to be doing this, which is a sentence I say a lot. And it's not 2024, it's 2025. So it's even crazier to be doing this, whatever that is.
Yes.
It's crazier to be doing now.
I know. And apologies to everybody who have been waiting so long for a new episode. Paul and I have been, I don't know, we took an intentional break to get some rest on things. Because you know what? Even fun things you need a break from time to time. And holidays was a great season for us to take a break. And we've been talking about this since the beginning of this year on wrapping back up or jumping back up. And it just took 27 days to do that.
Yeah, that is actually, it is crazy. It's the end of January, and it was a really nice break. I had a nice time relaxing, getting to not make content all the time, spend time with family, spend time with friends, celebrate the new year. It was a really nice holiday.
Yeah,
and
holidays was great.
It's also fun to be getting back at it because I'm starting to get the itch to talk pedals, talk with builders again. We got some episodes that we have queued up that'll be really cool coming back here.
We do.
So we're excited to talk with you all again.
Yeah, but let's not fully think that Paul and I have just been, sitting on our tushies doing nothing this month. It's been a very busy month. Something that we'll touch base in a future episode is, NAMM 2025. I just came back from that. Thankfully got to do that as an all expense paid trip from my job, my 9 to 5. So, had some of that going on, but it was really weird. And Paul, I know that we've been talking about this for a few weeks now. I'm just going to jump into what's happening out there, what has been going on, and what people can do to be a part. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, it's the wildfires in LA. Man, I've been in LA twice this month and have seen firsthand both, the smokes and the fires. My first trip I went out, I flew in at night into Burbank, and I flew in and I could see, like, we kind of went over where the Palisades fire was, that big 20,000 acre fire. And you could see it from the plane, and, the whole trip all day during the day, you could see smoke, you could smell smoke. It was really windy. So it was kind of creepy. What is that? I don't know what the right word is, Paul. You're definitely better at thesaurus-y type things, but that feeling where like something's out of place. It was like almost apocalyptic at times, but then at the other end of it, everyone was just kind of acting like normal if they weren't directly affected by the fires.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know what word you're looking for, but I do know we talked about a little bit of like the band playing while the Titanic goes down feeling of doing life as usual. And then also there's this like crazy apocalyptic fire happening in the backdrop of everything.
Right.
And I know we all have kind of become familiar with some of those feelings since I think the last few years have had a few disasters, including the pandemic. It doesn't get any less weird when 200,000 people plus have been displaced from their homes, and we're just like going about business as usual. It's a strange dichotomy of the way the brain has to split out, continuing on while also others are suffering.
Right.
It's a strange feeling.
Right. And, I having seen it and even at NAMM, we talked about it. I was again in Burbank at an event and could see the fires, the smoke from the newest one, the Hughes fire that popped up. And so, but I think it's still happening. People are still being displaced. Paul, I had pulled up an article from a few weeks back, that from the Washington Post that had said that 150,000 people were displaced. And then when you and I talked earlier this week, you were like, yeah, that went up to 200,000. It's insane. It's insane. And as fun as doing what we do on the channel, the podcast, the videos, the talking nerdy specs and granular and glitch delay, all that fun stuff with people. It's so much fun. And I'm so honored and appreciative to be able to do it and to have a platform of any sort. But I think you and I both, Paul, have been feeling a little bit out of sorts, feeling like something's going on that's affecting those around us, and we can do something about it. So you want to share real quick with what we're doing about it and how someone else can get involved?
Yeah. So we had been tossing around the idea, knowing we were sort of on hiatus from podcasting, trying to figure out like, hey, it feels weird to just come back and talk about pedals. So we wanted to do something. And if you're not a member of our Patreon or checked out our YouTube regularly, we put something out last week. I guess when this comes out, it'll be exactly a week ago. And what we're doing is from now until the end of February, we sell presets. For those who don't know, we sell presets for Meris pedals, for the LVX and the Mercury X, and more soon, but not related to this promo. And we are currently planning on donating all of the sales from that to the Airbnb 211 LA fund.
Yeah.
And sort of the backdrop and the story on why we chose that is there's a lot of cool organizations to give to. There's people doing like World Kitchen for food for firefighters and people who are displaced. But in talking with some of our friends on the West Coast, both in the music community and not, one of the kind of big takeaways from, unfortunately, this is not the first fire in recent memory that has displaced people. And
in LA.
In LA. And a lot of the, kind of things we were hearing is that more importantly than gear, or like, the Guitar Center is doing a cool thing where if you lost gear in the fire, you can actually, get and redeem with them to replace some stuff, which is very cool.
That's cool, yeah.
But more important than gear, more important than, your clothing, your creature comforts, is knowing if you are displaced from your home, where you're going to sleep the next night.
Yeah.
And obviously you have family, but on average, when you are displaced from your home and waiting for an insurance claim and figuring out how to rebuild your home, assuming you can rebuild in the same area even, it's like 1.5 to 2 years to build a home.
Yeah.
And that is a long time to couch surf, family and friends surf. And so the 211 LA partnership with Airbnb is a way to give people a place to stay. And have that be funded by others. So that is why we chose that particular organization to partner with.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, we dropped the 2 new preset packs, one for the Meris Mercury X, one for the LVX, but we also made it where every purchase of any preset pack, like anything on the Patreon, no matter what it is, all of those for the entirety of January, which at this point is all past, and then February, all of it's going. Every single penny.
Yep. Yeah. And then the other really cool thing is because we have become quite good friends with Gina and the crew over at Meris, sort of as a way to incentivize people to buy things from us during this time so we can donate it. Meris has partnered up, and somebody who donates, whether they're buying, a preset pack, whatever it is on our Patreon store, one lucky person can win a Mercury X or an LVX, which is cool because, we have really loved working with Meris. They're also doing their own efforts to donate and give money to various funds as they are actually based in the area affected by the fires.
Yeah, they actually postponed the launch of their new pedal. Or sorry, I don't know that it's a new pedal actually. They've been very coy about it. Gina's been very I talked to her on the phone and she literally was like, I plead the fifth. So,
yes,
their new product, which I think I know what it is based on my own desires and have no official actual education about what it might be. But anyway, they postponed the release of a new product because of the fires. And it wasn't that they couldn't do it. It was just, it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel, the right thing to do to launch a new product when everybody's like losing their house around them, friends, and being affected by this. So that was really cool that she was able to do that in terms of just good humanity, right? But then beyond that, to give away, they're giving away their own. They're giving away one of every pedal that they make, every product, and even the new product when it comes out. It's like a giant pedal board with everything. They're going to be donating. And honestly, if you want to do that, that's fine. You can go on their Instagram and check out. All you have to do is actually donate directly to a charitable organization that's helping those rescued by, or those who are affected by the fire, and send them the receipt. And when you do, you're entered to win their full pedal board. We just wanted to do something else as well. And Gina was super cool, and Terry and Angela were all part of our on board to do this as well. So like, they're letting us give away an LVX Mercury X that ships straight from them, and it's worldwide. So it doesn't matter where you are in the globe, like, you can get it. And super cool of them.
Yeah. So that is what we are doing to kind of give back in this time period. So if you, if you want to be part of that, the easiest way to do that, we'll link our Patreon in the episode like we always do. But just know that for the next, let's say 30 days or so, based on when this episode drops, everything purchased on our site is going to that Airbnb 211 LA fund. Yeah. So we appreciate you guys supporting and being part of what we do and getting to give back here. As LA too, it's a big music town.
It is.
It is. And there's a lot of people who, artists who I know are affected, friends of mine who actually, fortunately, were not in Los Angeles, but, lost property during this time period.
Yeah.
So it's affecting a lot of people, and anything that we can do to give back and, try to help offset the pain that people are feeling is, it's important.
Yeah.
So, so that is what we're doing. And as we mentioned at the top of the episode, we'll get into pedals now. Let's get into pedals. That's what we're doing for LA. I prepared a couple of things to look at to get back, and we are going to be doing, I think it's probably going to be our next episode after this one, an episode which is a year in review of 2024 and a year looking ahead with a guest. So stay tuned for that. But I saw an article Reverb put out a few weeks ago that I figured was just kind of fun for us to talk through.
Okay.
And it's a map that they did. They actually put it out the January 2nd of this year, so right after the year flipped. They did the most popular pedal by state for 2024.
Okay. You sent this to me. I'm going to find it.
Yeah, I also put it in the episode doc if you want to just grab it from there.
I'm looking, Paul. Stop pressuring me.
Okay.
What's our password again?
I'm not going to say that in the episode. But I thought it'd be fun to sort of look at together and maybe extrapolate or judge certain states based on, what the pedal of choice was for a state. I'll start while you're still looking with the great state of Pennsylvania, which we both call home currently. Ours was the Ditto Looper.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. And according to the graphic, and I'm assuming this is accurate based on the graphics change based on version of a pedal, it just looks like the straight up original Ditto Looper, not the Plus, not the X2, not the X4, just
the straight
Looper.
Up.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. Pennsylvania, we're not very. I mean, I guess a lot of people here are looping. That's what I could take from that.
Yeah, maybe they are.
Yeah, just a little bit. It was kind of a boring one for our whole state to be the most popular pedal we bought. Was the Ditto.
And what is the parameters for this? Like, how are they justifying that? That's what it is?
I'm assuming that it's purchases on Reverb.
Okay,
per state.
Then okay,
since Reverb put this out.
That makes sense.
They also have the best selling gear list as well as the most watched gear list for 2024, but I'm saving those for a year review.
Okay.
But for them, most popular by state, that's what this is. So this is just, I'm assuming you purchased it off of Reverb and your shipping was to the state is how they calculate this data. That makes sense.
It is. Oh, by the way, Paul, password is not password.
Yes, I am aware of that.
Okay, cool. I'm still stuck. I'm still locked out because I don't remember the password. I feel like under pressure, but I found it on Reverb, so I'm with you.
Okay, you got to the document.
I did.
Okay. So Ditto, that's the state of Pennsylvania. I will say I don't think we're the most boring one of the state ones. The most boring one to me is Rhode Island. The MXR 10-band EQ is the most purchased pedal in the state.
Okay, Rhode Island, what's wrong with you people? What is going on? Like, go back to some of our earlier episodes about shaping your tone.
Yeah, you can hear me get people upset by saying that EQs and utility pedals are not useful, which I still stand by. But,
well, I think the entirety of Rhode Island disagrees with you.
Yeah, it's to be fair, the entirety of Rhode Island is like less than 1,000 square miles, so it's not that many people buying a 10-band EQ. I just thought it was funny that that's their like most popular. So any jump out at you looking at this map? Because there's quite a few.
I'm on the map. I'm on the map.
Okay. Is there anything that jumps out at you when you're?
Honestly, Oklahoma is a disappointment. Oklahoma is the Boss NS2 noise suppressor. Also equally boring, but what's most disappointing, I think, is that there are some fantastic pedal manufacturer companies in Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's like, crazy that's the one, because they have, let's see, they have
Walrus,
Keeley, have Walrus, they have Old Blood Noise.
And there's more. I mean, is Blessed Mother in Oklahoma? She might be in Oklahoma, but because I know she's connected with Keeley, but regardless, the Boss NS2 people, come on.
Yeah, hey, if you go back to our episode right before the break with James, the NS2 might be one of the most important things you can do if you're playing live. So
that's true, but
maybe those folks in Oklahoma are all playing live and they've got their boards set. In 2024, they were like, I got to tackle my noise. I got to make my board sound good.
I mean, they might be, but you know what? There's also there is also a noise gate inside the Chase Bliss Clean, so get creative. And sorry, the Blessed Mother is a pedal from Heather Brown Electronicals, also known as godsmom.com.
And is that in Oklahoma?
I don't know. She's wise in that her website does not give a location, but she mentioned having worked with Keeley before, like at Keeley. So I'm just making just a pure assumption. So
yeah, that is
regardless,
an assumption, but
it was an assumption.
NS2 in Oklahoma is a little bit boring. I'm going to be honest with you, and I'll just admit this on the podcast. So looking at a state map with just pedals on it and not the name of the state, it took me a while to figure out which state was which. And I felt like I should spend more time reading my Midwest geography while doing that. Because the only way I could find Oklahoma is I knew in my head it was above Texas.
Got it.
When you said NS2.
Fair enough.
But anything else, like if you look to the right of the NS2, I probably I think I know which state is which. But I know Louisiana is the one that looks like a shoe.
Louisiana's
kind of
a halo.
And it's at the bottom of Mimel.
Right.
Which is the little guy that looks like a soldier in the middle of the Midwest.
That's true. I think what we were really doing, and so any of our international listeners who do not live in the United States of America, you all probably like dying laughing, because yes, this is a detriment of the U.S. education system that they don't drill into us.
To be fair, I did know this at some point in time. It's just with all the other things in my head now, geography of our own country has fallen apart. So.
I mean, when you hit 60, you do kind of forget that.
Yeah, I forget what age we said we were on that one episode when we were talking about how we've aged more.
I don't know if we did. I don't know if we did, but I just threw everybody for a loop.
Yeah, 60 years old. It's hard being 60 years old nowadays.
60, yeah. 60 or 6?
60. All right.
California represented, though. California represents, though.
Yeah, Chroma Console, California. Yeah. I mean, I thought it was interesting up and down the coast there. So we've got the Keeley compressor all the way at the very top in Washington State.
Yeah.
Then we got the Dream in Oregon, which is cool because I like the Dream. That's
you do like the Dream, the UA Dream.
Chroma Console there in Cali.
Yep.
And then Nevada with the Pitchfork from EHX was weird. I was like... Because I thought it was just tangential observations pulling out from this map. Not tangential, wrong word. Just top level observations.
Got it.
I thought it was cool how not everything on here was a brand new pedal.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because Reverb sells used, but like Maine, all the way on the other side of the country, has the original Mood as the number one purchase pedal.
Yeah, the Mark
I. Which I thought was cool. Like I was like, oh, this is neat that, gear. I spend so much time in what's the next thing. that it's cool to see like people are at different places in their journey across the country at different times. Like Texas made me laugh that the Big Sky was the most purchased, just because it's like the most Texas named pedal you could possibly have.
I think that's Montana. Montana's Big Sky country.
But no, but Texas, so like everything bigger in Texas. It's
That's
like,
true.
That's just funny to me.
But you just got
like
a Big Sky. You just got.
I do have a Big Sky.
Like you just got it.
Weirdly enough, had
And
never owned that.
Was it
before.
2024 that you got it?
Yeah.
Or did you get it in 2025?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I got it recently, but I don't know when that was.
Okay.
I think it might have been 24. I might have been part of the. Like Texas acquired a Big Sky last year.
You did. Now, did you get a Ditto? Did you follow through with?
I've had a Ditto since it launched, so no.
So no.
I've had
okay.
one forever.
Okay. Sorry.
But yeah, it's. I think it's interesting. Like, there's a Tube Screamer, in the middle of the country.
Yeah,
there
Iowa.
In Illinois or Iowa. Sorry.
Illinois got the drop.
See, yeah, and I also, drop right next door. Just a regular TS9 Tube Screamer for Iowa.
Yeah.
Which jokes could be made about the Midwest being like 50 years behind us, but jokes could be made. I'm not making them. I'm just saying they could be made. Because right beneath Iowa is that Missouri?
Yeah,
No.
see, the Midwest is laughing at you right now because they know exactly what state is right below Iowa.
That's fine. I've driven through this area, flown over this area. It is just cornfields. So, Crybaby Wah. What state is that beneath Iowa?
That's Missouri. You're right.
Okay, I was like, I thought it was Missouri because I know Kansas is next door and they share Kansas City, which I've been to, and it's fun. So I knew that one. See, I know the areas, I know where they connect to. It's just without like context. Also, It is funny. Have you ever looked at a map of the U.S. outside of the like kind of from a global perspective of how it's not as like some of our states look bigger than they actually are on like a global map?
No, what do you mean? Oh, I mean like Alaska. Alaska's never to scale.
Yeah, well, Alaska's bigger than a lot of our states combined, and it's just like this tiny thing. What is their pedal even? I don't even know what that blue pedal is.
I don't know. Scroll down. Let me see. Alaska, the R2R Electric Super Mark II Fuzz.
What? What are they doing over there?
Well, okay, you got to understand. Alaska is always like subarctic temperatures, so they have to make sure they have components that won't ever freeze.
So Fuzz is what's up.
Fuzz is what's up. Yeah, they actually can't function. Like the Mood Mark 1 wouldn't function there. That's a lie, everybody.
Yeah,
that is complete fabrication. I'm sure the Mood Mark 1 would work there.
Yeah, it's I thought it
Didn't
was
everybody miss
though.
this? Didn't everybody miss like just our bullshit for like 6 weeks, 7 weeks?
Just going on random little tangents and making things up. Yeah. To be fair, I think that's the first time in a while you've lied on the podcast. So
is it a lie if I if I fess up right away?
Well, I could edit the fess up out and then no one will know.
Damn it.
But I won't do that. I thought okay, so things I thought were interesting though. Yeah. So looking at the country as a whole and looking at all these states. So yes, it's interesting. Like Massachusetts had the carbon copy, which is kind of interesting. It's like an old faithful.
It's good though. I just got one in trade and I was pleasantly surprised by it.
Yeah, honestly, their OG carbon copy sounds phenomenal.
Yeah, I think that's the one I had.
Good.
I have the one that's in that picture on the state.
I haven't messed with the one that has tap tempo,
the
but
deluxe.
I have on good authority that it's actually disappointing comparatively to the OG.
Yeah.
But what I noted was for all of the hype I see on the forums we spend time in, a lot of the pedals that would appear most popular based on who posts on different forums I'm part of aren't in this list. They're not the most purchased. Now, you could extrapolate out that perhaps they're not sold used because they stay on pedal boards. However, Reverb also sells new pedals from builders and shops. And it was just surprising to me that some of the ones that seem to be, everybody has to have this, they're not on this list.
Such as?
There's actually, all of the Maris pedals. There's not a Maris pedal in any state right now.
Right.
There's not many Chase Bliss pedals. Actually, is the Mood the Mood Mark 1 the only Chase Bliss
on there, right?
Yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Even Minnesota, which is where Chase Bliss hails from, is the Stomp.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I just thought it was interesting. Like some of the ones that trend a lot the trendy picks were not the ones purchased by everybody.
Yeah.
I think actually, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Tonex in Florida is the only pedal that was released last year that made the list.
Okay. Scrolling through. There's a couple that I don't immediately recognize, but by and large, I think you are correct.
Yeah, that was a surprising takeaway for me looking at the list, that only one pedal released last year made the list of most purchased across the country by state. Now, this is by state, so it could be the number 2 slot for every single state.
Right.
Is like the Chase Bliss Gen Loss or something.
Right.
And completely
going back to you making fun of the size of Rhode Island, the MXR 10 band EQ might be like number 100 on every other state in America, but because 2 people in Rhode Island bought it, it's number 1.
Yeah, which is funny to think just 2 people. I think there's more than 2 people.
I know there are.
But yeah, it was a fun little map to spend some time with. I was enjoying looking at what goes on in the country.
I recognize it, but I don't know.
Ohio, it's an Earthquaker device.
EQD,
right?
but it's their legacy reissue of the Dirt transmitter. Okay.
They are actually also in Ohio.
They are.
So that's like one of the few where one of the bigger builders represented was purchased there.
Yeah.
Strymon took up a few states. So we mentioned Texas has the Big Sky, Arizona has the Timeline, and then Georgia has the Cloudburst.
Georgia has the Cloudburst, which, you and I have talked about their small boxes like the Cloudburst, the Brig, and the Ultraviolet. We've gotten some feedback from some of our local guitar shop buddies that just they don't move very much, and maybe maybe it's a little bit too niche in our general specific area, and obviously not a representative of the United States of America in terms of all the purchasing, but I was a little shocked to see the Cloudburst make it on there.
Yeah, I mean, my theorizing there is Georgia has not one, but several mega churches, and that's like a very house of worship reverb.
Yeah. Not only non-houses of worship.
Not only, but that was my first thought looking at that. It's
because how many House of Worship players have a Big Sky only to use the cloud algorithm?
Yeah, that is. I mean, quite a few. Yeah, actually.
Every single one in Georgia. Not anymore because they have the Cloudburst.
What I thought was also interesting is how many amp sims made the cut in general, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we mentioned the Dream is over there in Oregon.
Yep.
The Ruby is in Kentucky.
The Iridium is in Nashville. It's in Tennessee.
Somewhere.
Yeah, it's in Tennessee.
Tennessee. Right. I'm literally looking Kentucky
right at it,
and not clocking the Iridium right beneath it.
Yeah.
Which also when we were mentioning all the Strymons, that's a Strymon pedal too. You can see how very organized we were for our first episode back too. You made
this map. We were not organized. We talked about this morning. Like, hey, do you want to record today? Like, sure.
Yeah. Dude, Alan, you can't break the magic. They have to know how organized we are and how well we know the states.
Okay.
But yeah,
here's one for you, Paul. Which is the state above Colorado, and what are they showing as their number 1 pedal?
Okay, let me map Colorado first in my mind, because that's next to that touches Arizona and Nevada. So Colorado has the Loop Station. No, that's not Colorado. I'm wrong. Oh, God. This is embarrassing. No, Colorado does have the Loop Station. I was right. Okay. So what did you ask me? Sorry, I did orient Colorado first.
Which one's above?
I did have it right.
Which is the one, the most popular pedal in the state above Colorado?
The state above Colorado is a metal muff, and that would be, if I'm correct, Wyoming?
Yeah.
I'm right?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, okay, that is also a weird one, a metal muff being the state's most popular pedal.
Well, there's a lot of ranches and cowboys by trade, and so they're into metal.
I feel like that's just a completely made up thing you just said. But just the cowboys are into metal.
Cowboys can't be into metal?
I mean, cowboys historically, if we're doing stereotypes exclusively, are into country music and folk music. But I guess cowboys can be into metal. Cowboys can be whatever they want, Cowboys can do whatever they want.
Except the Dallas Cowboys,
So-
they can't win the Super Bowl this year.
Yes, because it's the Chiefs and the Eagles, which is a rematch of a few years ago. Yeah. So I did know the states better than I thought. I just also still questioned each time I said it because I was nervous.
As evidenced on this podcast. Now, what did you feel about the New Jersey being the Blues Driver?
Okay, but the Blues Driver, which I think we've talked about or chronicled a few times, the Blues Driver is like an all timer. It sounds good, everyone likes it, it fits a bunch of genres. So that one makes sense to me as one of the like older pedals that has trended here. I'm fine with that. The Spark Boost in Delaware.
Well, yeah. Come on, Delaware.
Like what's going on? Like what are we doing?
Does the Blues Driver give you that Bruce Springsteen tone?
I mean,
is it bossy?
It can give you that Springsteen tone, so that would make sense to me.
Does the Spark Boost give you that no tax shopping vibe?
Yeah, I would say TC Electronics is known for the no tax shopping.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
And the entirety of New York. And this is embarrassing because I grew up. So y'all, I grew up in Texas, and so like the Northeast is where, even though I live in the Northeast, I know New York.
If you're talking about the tuner, it's Vermont.
Yeah, Vermont. Okay, that was going to be.
You're gonna make the tuner. Yeah.
Yeah. Why is tuning such a big deal in New York and Vermont?
Apparently.
And Nebraska. Apparently. Well, at least Nebraskans are using the
Nebraskans have the Peterson one.
Yeah, so they want a little more accuracy.
They have the boutique tuner option.
Yeah.
Yeah, having the two tuners in Vermont and New York was kind of funny to me. Just as far as like what, and then New Hampshire is a state of taste with the DM101.
No, that's the RE202.
Oh, I never know what those look like.
Well, it's the color. So that's the RE202 because it's green.
Oh, what's the DM101?
Black.
Okay, they look very similar.
They're very, very, very.
And I'm also
similar.
I just also realized now.
Yeah.
And this is that there's a list underneath that I could have looked at. I was just looking at the map and spot checking.
That's
pedals.
awesome. Hey, well, you know what? That's impressive. That is impressive. So
yeah. Okay. RE202. And we have an LVX preset for that one as well, right?
To be honest, I don't know.
One of the ones. So we did the whole pack of the DM101s for our Give Black Friday thing.
Yeah.
One of the ones in there, and I never remember which one it is because I just have it on my LVX. I really like the hold modifier that you put on it because you made that preset. And
for the DM101s, is it the chirpy one?
Is it the DM101 or is the RE201 is a pedal too, right?
No, I don't know. Hold on.
Why does Boss have so many pedals?
Because they were like one of the original peoples of pedals.
Why do they have so many? Why do they have
so many?
No, it's I really want to remember which one it is. Anyhow, regardless, you made a really cool one, the chirpy, whatever the chirpy one is on. It's not the DM101.
It is a DM101. There's a couple I've made, and well, the DM101 we made like 16 of them, right? We made presets for every single algorithm on the DM101, but the basic one that we did that kind of launched us into the DM101 was called Warm Chirp or Warm Chirp 2. We've actually released
yes. And it goes, and the halftime of it where it has like it slows it down and then you can like speed it up is really cool.
Yeah. So that is actually, Warm Chirp 1, the original one that I made, we released as part of this LA Fire preset pack. The Warm Chirp,
okay, there you go.
Yeah, Warm Chirp 2 is only available in the DM101, which is a annual subscriber only preset pack.
Okay, cool. I accidentally didn't add just because I mislabeled a pedal.
Yeah.
I
love it.
Anything else while we're on the map that you want to call out? Because I want to get to a question of the day.
Let's jump to the question because I think we'll just like ramble over 50 states, and I am wanting us to kind of keep these episodes kind of shorter in time frame, unless like the public demands us to do our long form hour and a half ones. But I don't know. I was like, you had told me the other day or like earlier this week to listen to a podcast, and it was like a 2.5 hour long thing, and I'm like, how in the crap? I still haven't finished it. So I kind of want to keep these shorter when possible.
Yes, that's fine by me. I'm fine with that. Let's wrap up then.
Let's do it.
So, all right, 2 questions. One is a question for you, and then I'm going to do our Reddit/Facebook/forum post.
Okay, bring it on.
Question for you. So I know we're doing an episode on review of 2024 and 2025, which we're going to kind of do like as an award season thing, just so everyone knows. Anything you got since we last did an episode and are stoked on? New thing, holiday gift, etc. Anything?
Oh my gosh, I've gotten so much since our last episode. But the 2 standouts. One is a new release that I'm looking back on our calendar. I don't think we ever talked about it since I played it, really, because of just when everything dropped. But the Matthews Effects Technician.
We definitely didn't talk about that before.
Yeah.
Or we might have mentioned it came out.
We mentioned it because, so our last episode released on December 4th. And I'm sure I mentioned and talked about it and maybe teased it because the first sounds on that dropped the 6th of December. So like all in that same time frame. But yeah, that thing is a beast. And of all the good possible ways on what you can do. It's a reverb, it's a delay, and it's a looper. There's some hints of Chase Bliss in the functionality of it, how you do it. Like more on the aesthetic side of things, but it's its own machine. Rick Matthews, I found out his name's not Matthew Matthews. Rick really did a great job. They've already come out with a firmware update, and they are on it, and it's really rad. They did a good job with how they label out secondary features and everything, and like it's super cool. It is stereo in and out. It is full USB, MIDI, and it's super cool. I got that one, and then one that's not brand new, so to speak, although it is newer and new to me, the Discomfort Designs Phantom Limb that I've been jonesing on for a while.
Yeah, you've been quite keen on that one, and it turned out to be very cool. If you haven't checked out the first sound and technical Alan did on that. Also, there's 3 videos for that, I think we did, right?
So we on the Phantom Limb, we did the
ambient video with everything in it.
Yeah, so there's a first sounds, there's a technical, and then there's a how to get the best ambient settings that I did on the Phantom Limb, the Technician, the Microcosm, and the Mood Mark II. All in one.
Yeah, so there's some cool stuff to check out there. Yeah, I haven't got my hands on that one yet, but that pedal.
No, I don't know if you will. I love it too much.
That's fine by me. We have a few of those that work that way.
And honestly, it's mono, and y'all know I hate mono. I'm willing to look the other way on this one. This is that good. This is the Phantom Limb. It's that good.
I was really impressed with it from the videos, so it's pretty cool.
All right, what about you, Paul?
All right, my 2. I'm going to do 2 as well, just because you decided to do 2, and I'll do like new to me and new overall.
Got it.
So, new to me, I got this is also new, but like not a new pedal release to specify how I'm breaking this down. For Christmas, I got a Electro Harmonix Mel 9.
Nice.
Which is a very cool. I still haven't totally figured out all of the nuances of it, but I had just, I guess, in the era of playing almost exclusively digital modeling with the Helix, I missed the 9 series from Electro Harmonix.
Okay.
And the Mel 9 is the Mellotron, and it's cool. I really like the way it emulates turning your guitar into like a cello or a vocalization. It's really neat. It's really weird. I've also been experimenting, and I probably will do a first sounds with it at some point, but maybe just like a experimental video, which is a new genre I want us to tackle this year, of it plugged into an effects loop. So that you get like these weird trails of a brass synthesizer sound running in your effects loop.
Okay.
Really cool, really weird. Actually, a fellow Let's Trade Pedals subreddit guy gave me the idea, and then I've been obsessed with doing it on actually the loop of my timeline.
Nice.
So I'll do something with that, share it soon. And then new pedal that's also kind of a new release, one we got on Black Friday that finally arrived in between us recording, is the Collision Devices Crush Turnal.
Yes, we finally got that one in. You wanted like the super fancy color, like a
which took a while to get, which is fine, and I'm glad I waited because it looks really cool. I have, as if you've listened to our podcast or watched through, I've really been a fan of most of the Collision Devices things. We've tried now, let's see, I have the Black Hole Symmetry that my wife got me as a present for my birthday last year. We have the Nocturnal, which you've done a first sounds with, which sounds phenomenal. And then the Crushternal. And the Crushternal really caught me by surprise with the way that it works. The reverb is exceptional. The delay is super cool, but the sequencer gets so weird.
Yeah.
And the way they sort of interact with each other, the way that the master clock applies to all three effects, and you can do some really weird stuff there with your timing and your lo-fi-y washed out sounds. It is a super cool pedal. And I don't know, we haven't dropped that video yet, have we? I did
No. It's going to come out probably the next one we launch.
Yeah. So I think that's my two that we got since last.
Nice.
Honorable mention, I haven't really put it through its paces, but I finally jumped on the 1981 Inventions DRV with a Mod 1. More on that later. That one came in like a day ago, and I'm obsessed with it. So,
okay. All right, let's do this question.
I get the hype. All right, here's the question, and it's a fun one. And just to keep us under wraps, I want your gut reaction. I have one. I actually didn't scroll this thread. It's a post from yesterday on our guitar pedals on Reddit.
Okay.
It is, what is the worst guitar pedal from a big brand? And then, hold on.
Yeah.
Got to give you the clarifier. I'm curious on what the community redeems as a bad pedal from said companies like Boss, MXR, EHX, Earthquaker, etc. And then, in quotes, if you say Metal Zone, I know you're just baiting. So, worst guitar pedal from a big brand. Go.
Oh, man. I was going to say the Metal Zone. Worst guitar pedal from a major brand? You have to go first, man. You have to go first.
I mean, my gut reaction is one that was one of my early purchases that I just like got rid of immediately. Like literally, I think I got it used on Craigslist because before I got a Dynacomp, I got a Boss CS3 compressor to try compression. And it just immediately sounded like shit. It sucked all the tone out of the world. The compression was like the most plasticky compression I've ever had on anything. And like, it's one of those things where like, and now that I understand how compressors work and what they should do, it in theory is doing what it should do as a compressor, except that it sounds horrible and it makes your tone sound like it's run through some sort of digital processing that is made by Satan. So CS3 is my choice. That's my immediate gut reaction.
I mean, okay, so I think that's really hard, and you know, as much as we throw shade on some places and people, it's really more. I think the overall arching theme that we like to tell people is, if it works for you, then it's good, right? So I think that even on some of these big companies that maybe they turn out a lot of different stuff, not everyone is going to knock it out of the park. They still.
You are positioning way too much for a gut reaction response.
It's the TS9.
Oh, okay. That was why you positioned so much. That's a hot take.
It's a hot take.
The TS9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad I cut you off, so you just went with your gut and stop positioning, because that is okay. Why? Why is that your choice? Because
I think a lot of people go with it because it's a popular circuit, but the thing is, it's not the best of the circuit. If you're wanting a drive that has a little mid hump, there are better versions out there. So if you really need to get a TS like that has a TS in the label, then get the 808.
I love this take. I agree the 808's, I mean, at least for the way I play guitar, the 808's a way better choice than the TS9.
Yeah.
So, wow. So Boss CS3 and Ibanez TS9 are the Paul and Allen choices of the worst pedal from a big brand. So good pull on the Ibanez too. It just didn't occur to me.
Yeah.
Because I could have probably found something else there. But all right, well, let's wrap it up this week. We'll have more for you all next week. We're excited to be back.
We probably lost all of our listeners. They were excited for us to come back, and then they're like, "What the hell, guys?"
It's been a rough January, so I think that the people crave the podcast.
Yeah.
If they don't, they're going to listen to it anyhow.
You know what? If our nation can't produce content that just polarizes people one way or the other, and if we can't be a part of that, then are we even American?
On that note, have a great week, everybody. Keep an eye out for some more videos on some new pedals. As Alan said, we were not totally taking a break while we were off the podcast.
Taking a break from you.
Just swapping pedals. So we got quite a few new things in the hopper to release as first sounds, some technical videos, and then we got some cool guests lined up. Yep. Some people that we've mentioned their pedals before. They'll be coming on the Builder to talk about, and we're excited to talk to more people. And as always, keep collaborating. Talk with you soon.
All right, go buy a TS9.